Hello, I'm Davia Chambers and welcome to another edition of Let's Talk Tobago. Today we're at Blue Pearl Resort, but we'll be taking you to the east, the west and the capital, Scarborough, as we share with you some of the events and the activities that keep Tobago teeming with life. So come along as we get right into the action, starting with this week's top stories. Tobago is gearing up for Carnival 2023. The main ridge has gone solar, a step in the right direction towards renewable energy. And the young people of the Caribbean assemble in Tobago for the Regional Youth Summit. We'll bring you these stories and more right after this break. Stay with us.
Are you seeking employment or advice on labor issues? Then look out for the Office of the Chief Secretary, Department of Labor's Outreach Caravan 2023. We are coming to a community near you. The caravan rolls into Canaan on Friday 20th January at Penny Saver Supermarket from 9:30 a.m. to 12 noon. Whether you're an employee or an employer, you'll get up-to-date information on labor laws, labor-related issues, health and safety issues, and assistance with employment opportunities. For the full caravan schedule, visit the Department of Labor's Facebook page. The Labor Outreach Caravan 2023, empowering a productive workforce.
It's been dubbed the mother of all carnivals. National Carnival 2023 has already kicked off with its recent Tobago launch and an action-packed slate of activities. We have an update for you in our first story. Here's more.
Something telling me Joe, something telling me where, something telling me this is the end.
Today is important because the website, we launch our website finally, TobagoFestivalsCommission.com. This is going to be the hub of everything that's festival in Tobago. And when I say the hub, this is almost where the gateway to anything you want to know about festivals. This is where you can go now.
There is a national carnival and there's Tobago's carnival. Unless these stakeholders agree that we should move away from the national leg of the show, it will continue as long as all persons related and affected agree, then it's something we can look at. As it is now, it remains as part of our calendar of events.
This island recently got some welcome support from the United Nations Development Program, the UNDP, with a new solar power installation at the Main Ridge Visitor Center in Bloody Bay. It's all part of encouraging a transition to renewable energy, as you'll hear in this story.
Tobago's Main Ridge Visitor Center is now solar powered. It's all courtesy the European Union's Global Climate Change Alliance Plus initiative, along with the Ministry of Planning and Development and the United Nations Development Program. A formal handover ceremony was held at Main Ridge Visitor Center in Bloody Bay.
For us in Tobago, we are grateful for this project. Just a few months ago, we experienced unprecedented levels of rainfalls. Owing to the climate crisis, owing to the changes that we are seeing, our seasons are much more extreme. The rainy season is wetter than usual. The dry season is drier than usual. And there are implications for small island developing states such as ours.
As you know, we are off-grid. And because of that, we would have had problems in using our refrigerators or computers and laptops and such like that. Because we are now an orientation center. We have tourists coming in. And not only having tourists come in, but schools, we can project information onto our screens, even if our officer is not present.
What is really critical, it's actually the carbon sink. The rainforest is a carbon sink, you know, it sort of acts as a carbon sequestrator, right, to reduce our carbon footprint within Trinidad and Tobago. And this solar would add to that with respect to renewable energy. So it actually propels our thrust towards environmental sustainability.
The Main Ridge Visitor Center is one of 12 sites across Trinidad and Tobago earmarked for a solar panel system. Bayside High School is the other Tobago site that will benefit from the program. I'm Megan Wallace for Let's Talk Tobago.
Residents of the Adventure Development in Plymouth took full advantage of the inaugural Executive Council Town Hall meeting to have their issues addressed. They were promised and delivered a follow-up meeting, and we have the highlights. Have a look.
Our presence here is to solve problems that you all are now facing, and we hope that we do the best that we can to make your life and your standard of living improve.
The maintenance that we are paying for the past, $300 for maintenance, almost 90% of the homeowners there are with TTMF, and they indicated to us that the money is in an escrow account. Of course, we would have had the issue. I spoke with Mr. Bosland, seeing him for the first time in person regarding that issue. I had a conversation with TTMF, and they reiterated that nothing cannot be done unless settlement give instructions.
I have been a homeowner since December 2015. Right? I've been paying them a mortgage since the 31st of December 2015. And they are telling me the only way that they can transfer the funds to my mortgage, they are waiting on directive from settlements.
The electrical work is a case where when some of us move in, the problem was that they use 110 wires for air conditioning. And when you try to use your washing machine, because they put it on a lower grade wire, it chips off the entire thing.
The service fee would cover things like insurance because of the common spaces, the lights, the whatever. The insurance coverage for you all you don't know, but it is $200,000 per year for all of the blocks. To paint with good paint, to do the landscaping, the drainage, the lights, the whatever, all of these things that are common to you all is what the $300 per person service fee is supposed to cover. In relation to the WASA money, the $200 is an estimation of what your bill is likely to be when it comes on stream. Property tax is also an estimation also. TTMF has that WASA money on escrow for us because the development, when it was approved, it was for built out of all the other green spaces around you all. And because we have not progressed to the other spaces as yet, WASA has not been did not give us a final certificate. So, but we have worked out something with them now. So within a short space of time, there should be bills being generated in an account in everyone's name.
We will be addressing them, as the administrator said, and as Secretary Hackett said, in phases, piece by piece. Hope that we could bring some measure of relief for these long overdue problems you all have.
You are watching Let's Talk Tobago at Blue Pearl Resort located on Sherburne Road. We have to take a break, but don't go anywhere. When we return, we share more stories with you.
Are you seeking employment or advice on labor issues? Then look out for the Office of the Chief Secretary, Department of Labor's Outreach Caravan 2023. We are coming to a community near you. The caravan rolls into Canaan on Friday 20th January at Penny Saver Supermarket from 9:30 a.m. to 12 noon. Whether you're an employee or an employer, you'll get up-to-date information on labor laws, labor-related issues, health and safety issues, and assistance with employment opportunities. For the full caravan schedule, visit the Department of Labor's Facebook page. The Labor Outreach Caravan 2023, empowering a productive workforce.
So Tobago is not only a great place to vacation, it's also increasingly become a hub for island-based national and even regional events like the Caribbean Youth Leaders Summit, where some of our industrious young minds gathered to discuss their contributions to wider society. We have more in this story. Have a look.
The Youth Summit is a platform for youth to share, find their own voice, and contribute to the future. The theme was adding global value, taking charge of our future.
But the reason why we are in this room is because we have, as part of our inheritance, global issues for which we perhaps did not even contribute towards, but that we must find solutions to. and that we must fix. We have to find the solutions. And I want you to not take for granted the weight of that responsibility that you have. Do something. And you may not even be successful at getting it done, but just do something. Let it be said that you did something. Even if it wasn't successful, just do something about the way you feel.
I want to leave this with us. I heard throughout the session that persons are talking that we are the future generation. But I love to say that we are the now generation because we are impacting the next move. We are impacting the next policy decision now. So continue to strive, continue to push, and let's build, look, not only one Guyana, but one Caribbean.
This is my first summit that I've been to, and I can say that it's so powerful and impactful to see that we youth have such a powerful voice here regionally and within our country. I've already started to discuss with Leo about the things that I want to start implementing with our own youth and have a national development with it.
The 3-day sessions were held at Shore Park Complex. I'm Crystal George for Let's Talk Tobago.
They've worked tirelessly to achieve success. And then it was the turn of Tobago's top achievers in the CAPE and the CSEC exams to get deserved recognition for the fruits of their labor. Let's show you how things went at a recent special ceremony.
These students are in the top tier of the region when it comes to CAPE and CSEC exams. They were recognized by the Division of Education, Research and Technology for their excellence during a recent ceremony, and they were encouraged to keep striding forward.
Students, I implore you that as you move on to the next steps in your academic journey, that you remember my opening statements. Education is the most powerful weapon of change, and that you are indeed world changers. The future is yours to design, and it is my hope that you continue to make an impact wherever you may go. That you constantly make room for yourselves at the table of greatness. And today, as you're being recognized for topping your local and regional peers, an amazing feat, if I may dare say so myself, you must know that with that success comes responsibility.
I celebrate you, dear teachers of our students on the merit list today. As the true instructional technologists that you are, you believed in the abilities of these students to soar to academic heights. You who have committed yourselves to teaching, not simply for grades, but for learning. You are the co-authors of the story of the successes of these students here this morning.
I know what it is like to be a parent of a teenager, especially in today's world. Because when we were teenagers, things were slightly different. When your parent tell you something when you were a teenager, you had no choice. Gumbo you may, but go is a must. Now you may get a little debate. And of course, when they are very brilliant, of course they are going to debate with you. They are going to, give you another side and another perspective and so on. And you have to try to, find a way to have that discussion with them. But I want to say that, we have lost a lot in terms of our parenting, and I'm hoping that we can go back to that, because these are young persons and they will continue to need your guidance. They are not adults as yet, and you need to be there and continue to be there for them. So that I really want to commend you parents for the role that you have played and the role that you will continue to play.
The students awarded hailed from Bishop's High School, Scarborough Secondary, Signal Hill Secondary, and Speyside High School. I'm Megan Wallace for Let's Talk Tobago.
So we've come to the end of this edition of Let's Talk Tobago, and it has been our pleasure bringing you a close-up at our slice of paradise. As always, we thank you for watching. Please email us with your comments or queries about the program, and be sure to visit our website, like our Office of the Chief Secretary Facebook page, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. To find out more about Blue Pearl Resort, you can call 340-5988. From our house to yours, I'm Davia Chambers, along with the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly, wishing you a safe and productive week.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers. It is 7 a.m. 7 a.m. Viewers, on Monday, the 23rd of January, 2023. Yes, the countdown is on for the hundreds of days existing in January. It is only January 23rd. 2023. Good morning and welcome to the Tobago Updates Morning Show, coming to you here live from the Port Mall in Scarborough. As we continue to give God thanks for life, I am Julian Skeet.
And I am Maria Richardson George, and this is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. Good morning to Tobago, good morning Trinidad, those of you in the Caribbean, and those of you viewing us on the live, good Monday morning to you. It is a beautiful day outside, Julian.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's my kind of day, my kind of time. A nice, cool kind of weather, early morning start. I got to give God thanks indeed.
That's right. That's right. So what have you been up to? What was the weekend like?
The weekend was quite interesting. Very much a hectic one. We had the visit of our Rotary International District 72 Governor from Grenada and our district Rotary representative from right across in Trinidad. And so, we sought to give them a taste of Tobago. With the various activities and initiatives, and that's obviously in addition to an opportunity to visit a number of the projects being executed by the various clubs. So that would have taken up the majority of my weekend and my time, treating in terms of my voluntary work within the organization, and an excellent closing ceremony where a number of our counterparts from Trinidad came across, to really support the closing before the district governor departed Tobago on Sunday.
All right.
And then, in keeping with service,
and you said,
I went on, because in keeping with service, right? I went on, and we really want to say shout outs this morning to JCI Tobago, because this one of these pins that I'm wearing this morning.
I wish we could get a nice close up
one
of
of these
it.
pins wearing this morning. You see the one labeled JCI Tobago.
Yes.
It's an expression of thanks as part of the official installation ceremony that took place yesterday. To start the new year, the leadership of current President Kosi Morris, that we recognize that there was an opportunity immediately. They expressed thanks and appreciation to all sponsors, stakeholders who would have contributed. And therefore, as a result of that, they would have given out tokens of appreciation, certificates, and so on. And the Tobago Updates was on the lineup in terms of appreciation being extended. So this one is for Tobago Updates in terms of that appreciation coming out. And you should remember the energy of immediate past President Janelle McConey.
How can I forget?
All right. So now she has officially handed over that mantle to President Kosi King Morris. So therefore, certainly an opportunity there. And we look forward to continuing to have discussions and to working with GCI Tobago.
I'm happy to hear. Well, Julian, yesterday afternoon I was in Scarborough. There was a cruise ship in, and I saw a lot of visitors to Tobago walking the streets of Scarborough, Upper Scarborough, Lower Scarborough, looking for places that were opened, plying trade, doing business on a Sunday. Unfortunately, as you know, Scarborough is locked down, particularly Upper Scarborough. There was a few stores on the lower end of Scarborough that were opened for business, but unfortunately Upper Scarborough, and I saw them walking, I'm talking here all out to Bacalet by the RC Church, etc., and nothing. And I'm thinking here, our business community needs to also be on board with when these tourist ships are coming in, because they're coming in on a Sunday and there's there's little or nothing for them to to see or do. So we need to take a look at that.
You know, we kind of have to cater to.
Yeah.
I know normally you'd have a number of persons out in terms of the handicraft and different elements in relation to Tobago.
I saw some at the port and just on the outskirts of the port. All right, and those smaller shops are located on Milford Road. Some of them were open, but I mean they were walking and looking, and I think we need to revamp how we're doing things.
Certainly something to be looked at by the powers that be, because I mean it's not the first time that we've got cruise ships coming in here on the weekend, and in particular on Sunday or public holiday, you know, under the circumstances. So certainly we look forward, and we want to encourage the division out there. Got to put something in place, as well as I suppose if people know the timing as well, our private sector entities as well, those within close vicinity, can necessarily make arrangements accordingly. So I know that there's a schedule out. So ultimately, it's important to ensure that the connection happens among the stakeholders, so that we really avoid those kinds of circumstances. And collectively, both public and private, we're able to offer and to really showcase our very own Tobago. All right, viewers, at this point, we head on over to news in 90 seconds.
Thank you, Julian and Ria. I am Candace Jackson, and here is your news in 90 seconds for Monday, 23rd January 2023. Chief Secretary Fali Augustine announced that Tobago could expect faster deliveries of projects in 2023 compared to 2022. He made this announcement at the unveiling of the indoor sports floor at the Shore Park Cultural Complex. While Augustine is satisfied with the performance of his executive council over the past year, he wants to expedite the delivery of promised projects to the people. He explained that he had instructed his team to go any length to ensure that their mandate was fulfilled. Meanwhile, the inaugural Ministry of Sports and Community Development Tobago Masters Invitational T10 tournament bowled off last night at the Mariah Recreational Grounds. The tournament features 4 Tobago teams divided into zones and includes national players and coaches such as Clint York, John Pollard, Neil Skeet, Solandi Sobers, and Brian Brown taking part in a week-long event. Conceptualized by the Canaan Bonaccord Sports Club, event coordinator Marcus Daniels said the tournament is in keeping with the club's mandate of making cricket inclusive. Daniel believes that seeing the older players in action will serve as a motivator for their children and upcoming players in their care. And nationally, Acting Commissioner of Police Malcolm Jacobs said farewell to the police service over the weekend. He also delivered a WhatsApp message to heads of commanding officers, which was shared with other officers. Jacobs said it was a pleasure to have been a member of the police service for the last 42 years. He was also appointed to lead the police service after the end of Gary Griffith's 3-year tenure in 2021. Griffith accused Jacobs of dismantling several initiatives which utilized technology in the fight against crime, and that under Jacobs' tenure in 2022, the country recorded its highest murder tally of 605. While acknowledging the many challenges he faced during that time, Jacobs described his career as a police officer to have been quite pleasurable. Jacobs remained convinced that the police will continue to protect and serve Trinidad and Tobago to the best of their ability. And that was the news in 90 seconds. It is back to you, Julian and Ria.
Thank you there, Candace.
Thank you very much there, Candace. Always very interesting there, Ria. What appears to have been an abrupt end, to the tenure of, the then acting commissioner, Jacob, but certainly he's indicating that he did his best. And I don't want to go much further than that. Ria?
We're going to leave it right there. He did his best.
He did his best. He did his best. All right, viewers, let's continue this morning with our birthday celebrations coming to you here on the Tobago Updates morning show.
All right, and this is my cousin-in-law, Sherman Phillips Mackenzie, celebrating her birthday. Sherman, love going out to you this morning from the Tobago Updates family and from the McNeil clan. Love going out to you this morning. We've also got celebrating her birthday, Trisha Dennis. Trisha, happy birthday to you, my dear. All the best going out to you from the Tobago Updates family. Trust that you have a great one today. We've got Patrice O'Neill celebrating her birthday. Happy birthday going out to you, Patrice. And lots of love. Trust that you enjoy to the max. My other cousin-in-law here, this is Levis McNeil Stewart, celebrating her birthday. Auntie Levis, happy birthday. Love going out to you from the entire family and from all of us here at Tobago Updates.
And we have on screen Veronica Paul, and we're sending a happy birthday going out to you. That's from your good friend Anton, your daughter, granddaughter, and the rest of the family, wishing you a happy birthday. And on screen, my very good friend out there in Suriname, wishing you a very happy birthday, Melissa, and God's continued blessings. We trust that you enjoy the birthday celebrations. And if I know anything, you're going to be celebrating well into this week and this weekend. So happy birthday to you, Melissa. All right, viewers, we want to thank you so much for your continued love and support. And once again this morning for choosing the Tobago Updates morning show, coming to you here live from the Port Mall in Scarborough. We've got some interesting stuff happening on our lineup this morning. Who do we get started with?
Well, Julian, we are happy and pleased to have on the program to start us off this morning Nigel De Freitas, President of the Senate of Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago. And we're going to focus this morning on the new President of the Senate. And this is one of us, are we boys?
Yes,
boys?
certainly. Proud moment
Definitely.
for Tobago. We look forward to those discussions that will be happening this morning, getting a little insight into the who is our new Senate President.
That's right. Yes, and then we continue the discussion this morning, chatting with Anne-Marie Degazo and Onika Mars as we focus on we're talking gender-based violence here, but we focus more on preventing. You know, there's some scenarios you see coming well in advance, but you know, as the old people say in Tobago, we just like to take bully fit to see is what you see in the day.
Will indeed come to life.
That's right.
What you think, even if it happens in the night, will indeed come to light. So it's really important that we get the perspectives from very early in terms of the preventions. And certainly Onika Mars, no stranger, has been involved and really doing fabulous work in this area for an extensive period of time. I look forward to even hearing about her recent exposure and so on, travel, doing the good work that she continues to do out there.
Yeah, and then we're going to wrap things up this morning, chatting with Joseph Jordan, Sergeant of the TTPS, as we get an update from them. And women, protect yourselves during Carnival, and that is very key. So we're urging those persons, you know, when you're going to party, you're going to fete, you're going to wherever it is you're going out there, don't go alone. He's going to give us some safety tips, particularly for women. But I say here, it should benefit all and sundry, whether you're a man, woman, boy, or girl. This will be good information for you.
Yeah, it's important for that now to be across the board, because there's no longer that kind of limitation that would have existed previously. So we're looking forward to an interesting lineup here this morning on the Tobago Updates morning show. I almost missed it. Also, another interesting development in the news, the promise of faster delivery of projects in 2023. You know, some would say ultimately they'll believe it when they see it. But that's a very interesting commitment. And, you know, we look forward to seeing what's the strategy or the particular efforts that would be made in terms of trying to ensure that kind of faster delivery, because ultimately, you know, the chief secretary and politicians may want something naturally. But as I always make the point, we got to work collectively. You see, when things go wrong, you only hear about the individuals, and certainly heavy is the head that wears the crown. But when things go right, we hear about how well the system is working. So we look forward to really seeing, you know, in terms of that system that is really going to seek to facilitate these faster delivery in terms of moving things ahead. Won't that be a good time, Rhea?
Won't it be a time indeed?
Yeah, as some of my colleagues would say, if only we could see the kind of delivery that we see at election time all year long.
That's right. That's right.
So therefore, we look forward to that, and we'll see how that goes in the lineup.
All right, but just before we continue, we just want to say good morning to some of our sponsors here: Mateo's Hair Sanctuary and Phyllis Grant, Just My Size, House of Norma, Joyce Fashion, Sasha Cosmetics. We say thank you to you, and Linnell Adams, and she makes she does locally made, handcrafted jewelry. So Linnell and Gory Adams, good morning. Good morning, Special good morning going out to you, my lovely people.
All right. And we continue certainly to recognize each and every one of our sponsors, Classic Cuts by Akila's, Rashad's, Men's Store, Checkpoint. All right. They continue to make their contributions. And folks, remember, you can continue to connect with us, to advertise, because at the end of the day, we're on top and we're number one because of each and every one of you. And therefore, we want to thank you so much for that continued love and support. You choose us each and every day, and we are thankful that you have chosen to connect with us. Those of you joining us via TV, it's Gael and Emily TV. Those of you connecting with us via radio, listening in on your way in. Those of you online, ensuring that you have that device with you on the move and on the go. We want to thank you so much for the continued love and support. And to remind you that this is your opportunity to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
It's a different type of thing down there. And we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
Socialize! Friday, 27th of January, Shore Park Complex.
Don't worry, lover. Don't worry, friend. Don't worry, partner. Socialize is yeah. Don't worry, lover. Don't worry, friend. Don't worry, partner. Tobago.
Socialize! Friday, 27th of January, Shore Park Complex.
It's so much my heart could take. Socialize.
Socialize!
Freedom at last. Raise a glass. Boy,
Socialize!
27th of January. Look for where?
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes for breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
Everybody only worrying.
Never ever worry. Don't mind how things looking hard. I tell them never ever worry. If your life can't get damaged bad. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. Don't mind if life make you sad. I tell them never ever worry. If your house get flooded out real bad. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here. I tell them never ever worry if sickness catch you off guard. I tell them never ever worry if times fall on you real hard. I tell them never ever worry, what I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil will always be here for you.
Never worry about a thing. Tatil, where people are people. You know what I mean.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Viewers, welcome back this morning to the Tobago Updates Morning Show. We are chatting. This seems to be a women's thing this morning. It's women's empowerment this morning. So we've got on the program today Anne-Marie Diggerzo, who is a volunteer counselor attached to Women of Substance, and the lady herself, Onika Mars, president and founder of Women of Substance. This morning, viewers, our focus is on preventing gender-based violence workshop. They're going to tell us some more about it and what signs we can look for and how early it starts. Ladies, good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning,
good to
Rhea.
have you.
Thank you. Good to have you with us.
Thank you for having us.
Now, Onika, before we jump into things on this particular topic, I want you to share with our viewers. Now, you seem to be all over the world all the time and very hardly ever at home in Tobago. I feel as though there's something you're not telling us about your connection in the your connection outside. Maybe we'll see some videos sometime soon with bigger things happening. Tell us about your recent travels and what you've been up to.
Okay, thank you so much, Rhea. You seem to be up for a little mischief this morning, but I'll manage. I recently returned from Nigeria, where I partnered with an organization, Sotawaka, that also deals with gender-based violence. So I was there for the 16 days of activism and also to launch one of our signature programs, Sit and Chat with Onika Mars. It was a beautiful experience, and what I loved most about it was the fact that the community, I was in Benin City, Edo State, and the community embraced me and the work of my organization. And I remember doing an interview on one of their radio stations, and they were celebrating the fact that I came all the way from Trinidad and Tobago to launch Sit and Chat with Onika Mars in Edo State. It was a big thing for them. And, I really thank God for all the love and appreciation I received while in Nigeria. And it is a reminder that this is what God has called me to do, and I will continue to serve. There are naysayers, but I am focused, knowing that if people in Nigeria could embrace me and embrace the work that I'm doing, and it means that all I need to do is just continue and stay focused.
All right, very quickly here, in terms of what you were able to experience out there in gender-based violence and domestic violence, we tend to think that it's only happening within our circle. It's a problem, it's a plague that takes place only in Trinidad and Tobago. But what was it like for you being able to share? What was the feedback like?
It is a global issue, and it is something that it is very scary. And some of the experiences I would share, for example, I don't know if this was the welcome to Nigeria. The night I arrived, I sat, chatting with an attorney and my host. And my host got a phone call about a young lady who is in a common law relationship, has 4 children in the relationship for 20 plus years. And this lady's common law husband placed lit cigarettes in her eyes. Could you imagine, Rhea and Anne-Marie, lit cigarette in her eyes and threatened her by telling her, when I come back home, you and the children better be gone, or else I will finish you. I mean, how cruel can one be? Yeah? We've heard of experiences in Trinidad and Tobago, but to hear something like that, I was in awe. and the stories were numerous, you know. So it is something that, you know, you realize that the work continues, because it is not just Trinidad and Tobago or the Caribbean. It is a global issue that needs to be dealt with.
Definitely, definitely. I want to bring Anne-Marie in at this time. And Anne-Marie, as a counselor, and we're getting into the meat of things, as a counselor, you know, we often, women all the world over, we have friends who come and say, Gail, you know, my husband, my ex-husband, he does this, he does that. Our first response as women, leave. Gail, if it was me, I would. How careful must we be when giving advice to someone in that situation? As even the situation that Onika mentioned a while ago, that woman may have confided in a friend. What do you do? Gail, if it was me, I was not moving. Right. But let's take a look at the background of the individual here.
Morning, Ria.
Good morning
Nice to
again.
be here. Not necessarily on this topic, but nice to be here. You know, it's sobering, and the experience that Onika shared, you know, it just brings it home how very significant this issue is. And in fact, globally, even just last night I was doing some reading, and it's like 1 in 3 women are abused, and this is globally. So it really, I'm endorsing what Onika says, and it's not that easy. In fact, I would caution anyone about the giving of advice, number one. Many people think that that's what counseling is, but it certainly is not.
Right.
And it can swing either way, because understanding everyone's individual context is very important. Yes, right. So understanding everyone's context is very important. And so I would say that's where it needs to start. In fact, leaving a relationship that is abusive requires a plan. You can't just up and leave, because one has to understand that person's lives have been entangled over many, many years. And sometimes there exists a kind of symbiotic relationship between the abused and the abuser, where both need each other to function and survive on a daily basis. There may be issues of children involved, issues of property, issues of family, especially in situations where it have been long-term abuse. So just to say leave from the outside sometimes need to be approached with some caution.
Let's talk, ladies, here about some of the signs and symptoms of an abuser. Now, I guess over the years and dealing with women and dealing with situations and circumstances, the things that you can relate to, the things you'd be able to look back on and say, we saw this coming. Is it always that you see this coming? Is it that always that you look at a particular type of behavior in a man and say, he's going to be an abuser? Or is it that one day you see, is it that you could see there's a man who there was never a track record, there were never any signs, and then one day he just became an abuser?
Well, abuse, I want to say abuse doesn't have a gender. Really, it's men and women who are abusers.
And let me apologize here, because when we think gender-based, we think men are the aggressors, men are the abusers. Gentlemen, I am so sorry. I'm sorry for putting it out there.
Yes, there is a tendency, and maybe the statistics would bear that more men are abusers, but it's not that it's men only. And sometimes primarily because men have been groomed or socialized a little differently than females. Some are unable to express how they feel, and so the only ways that they can express that is through physical means, because they have been groomed as boys growing up to be tough, not show their emotion, not speak about things that bothering you, and you're supposed to be strong, and you're supposed to be in control all the time. And abuse is just about that. That's where it starts. It's about control. It's about control. It's about power over, and make no mistake, it is a crime. It is violence. And so when we groom persons in a particular way, and now we have to look at some of those trends, because we are almost grooming our females to be like males have been groomed. So we're seeing a lot of role reversals happening, and so you would see a lot of the consequences of those kinds of grooming taking place. So now you have a lot of females who figure, well, I am the one who wears the pants in the home. So you do have abuse happening in the reverse. And so you're correct. It is identifying it early. So when you begin to see some of those tendencies of control, which sometimes starts with just isolation. What are you going by your mother today for? Stay home now.
You don't need to call them.
You don't need to call them. Why you always going out and liming with the girls? So stay with me. We could be at home. So you're seeing those kinds of to isolate, to lock off. And pretty soon the friends stop calling. The family stop dropping by because they're not welcome when they drop by. And this one person becomes your entire reality. And they're nice. So it starts off being nice because it really is a very thin line that one crosses. So it begins to think that, well, this man really loves me or this woman really loves me. They're doing so much. They're treating me nicely. I'm getting all the gifts. I'm getting all the attention. Wow, he's the best person in the world to me. And then it starts.
And, you know, in addition to that, Rhea and Anne-Marie, it, you know, after going through all of that, it may be like you, let us say, you know, we are from Tobago and we are living in Trinidad. And, you know, you run into somebody from Tobago. You know how Tobagonians are.
Right.
You know, we embrace, we so happy to see each other. And you may embrace that person. It may be a schoolmate or just some friend from Tobago. And the perpetrator may be in your surrounding or in your presence.
And they would see that.
Yes, and they may talk to the person really nice. But when you get home or on your way home, another story. Who is that man? And you're saying to him, well, we went to school together. You know, that is my friend from way back when. But I saw he was looking at you kind of way. You know, you
And
like...
it's innocent.
Innocent. You know, but then abuse is about power and control. Yeah? So these are things that we tend to overlook because we're receiving the attention. And as women, as human beings, you know, we love the attention, right? So you're receiving excessive attention every minute. Your partner calling, where? Hey, you say I was going on the mall with Rhea. Put on the video so that I could see Rhea. Let me say hi to Rhea. But it's not really wanting to say hi to Rhea. It's wanting to ensure that Rhea is the person you say you're going out with, you're with Rhea. So, you know, people need to be mindful of that and be very, very, very alert to these signs.
All right. Now, in terms of the signs of an abuser, male or female, let's put it out there. The signs of an abuser. What are some of the key signs that women need to be and men need to be mindful? I got it right. That men and women need to be mindful of.
Well, I would say abuse takes place in stages. So critical is that isolation. Critical is the wanting to know, as Onika said, where you are at all times and controlling that. When it begins to change, very often I would say it starts with a lot of the verbal, you know? So maybe you might think that women are probably the bigger abusers because we let them have it. You understand? The verbal.
I think this is the point where we should all say ouch.
We should say ouch. The criticizing, the domineering, the nitpicking. Sometimes it's out there. And we do a lot of it. They're making you feel guilty and less about yourself. When you begin to question who you are when you're with your partner, check it. When you begin to feel bad, when you're not sure what to say and, you know, how you have to put it across carefully before they get angry, then you begin to check yourself. when sometimes you may see as it progressively begins to get closer to the physical, you may see destruction of property, destruction of things. You come home, your clothes missing, you know, something torn up. You have a pet, it's damaged. You know, it progresses. It doesn't start one day and just big lash and the burn in the eye. So in terms of the incident that Onika would have highlighted, there was probably forms of the abuse happening for several years, but nothing was done about it. Maybe, maybe not. We don't know the details of the story.
How early does an abuser start abusing? And I'm asking the question because, I mean, I'm familiar with scenarios at secondary schools right here in Tobago, Trinidad, etc., where boyfriend and girlfriend. So you see Form 3, Form 4, Form 5, and you see girls slapping the boyfriend or the boyfriend roughing up the girlfriend. We're talking secondary school students. I mean, this didn't happen in my time, but as far as you know, how early does it begin? And would you say that this is the onset of abuse, or a person, an individual being an abuser, or is this just puppy love?
Surely not puppy love, Ria.
Surely not puppy, because, and it's concerning.
Dog love, not puppy.
As you say, there was an era, and I'm talking very locally here. There is an era when you didn't see these things happening, but now it's almost commonplace. You're seeing it a little bit too often, the same kinds of controlling behaviors. And I myself, although sometimes you would think, yes, I will know better, but sometimes you wonder, why do they stay? I don't live by you.
I live at my home. And
I live at my home. You live at your home. With my parents.
Who pay all my bills.
Who pay all my bills, send me to school, and I'm there and I'm knocking you up in school, in the public, at parties and that kind of thing, and they still stay.
And Anne-Marie, if I may interject, it means that there is cause for concern, because what we fail to recognize and acknowledge is the fact that children are silent victims. Yes. Abuse is learned behavior.
So this person who is sitting there, this student, this child, this teenager who is being abused by their boyfriend or girlfriend, you're saying here that they would have, the fact that they're staying in the relationship is because
they have learned that that's the way that they should behave and respond to such. So more than likely, there is some history of abuse in that family on either side. Because sometimes, and this is the thing that women have to look at, sometimes as women who are in abusive situations, or men, they tend to think that staying for the children's sake is a good thing. But the messages sometimes that is communicated by you covering the abuse and thinking that the children are not seeing is often a mistake. And it may be one of the things that perpetuates, you know, we talk about the cycle of abuse, it continues from one generation to the generation. So that the child learns, the child learns that, the child of the victim learns that when this happened, it may be my partner's way of showing me that they love me. And the child of the abuser learns, this is the way that I must express love. Because at the end of it, after the abuse, they would see mommy and daddy hugging up and loving up and everything nice.
Ladies, we're going to get some information from you in a bit, but I just wanted to connect the live with what's happening here. One of our viewers on the live, Janelle McConey Critchlow, says, counseling is not telling the client what to do. Right. We've got Philip Robinson saying, good morning, I'm certainly interested when and where. Philip, you're going to get that information shortly. We've also got Leslie Ann Ellis saying, good morning, all. Special morning to my classmate, Anne-Marie. And Leslie Ann Ellis says, the discussion has taken me back to my song, Perpetual Web. Julia Brown says, I said to a woman the other day that if you're going through an abusive relationship, do not ask for advice from someone who has been abused, and never ask for advice from a person who has been cheated on. If you're going through the same, it won't hurt to seek professional help. If many, it may help. It won't hurt to seek professional help if may and people something, we need to get rid of the stigma therapy. The stigma therapy is for crazy people. I walked through that door. And that's just some persons commenting there on the discussion. Give us an idea of this seminar that you're hosting, and what you plan on covering, and the dates and times.
Okay, so thank you very much, Ria. The program is Women of Substance Pass It On Youth Leadership Program. This program is sponsored by the U.S. Embassy in 2 schools, which is Scarborough Sec, Tobago, and Milat, Trinidad. And another 2 schools are sponsored by the British High Commission, which is the Signal Hills Senior Secondary School, Signal Hill Secondary School, my alma mater, and
that's right. That's right.
and Pentecostal Light and Life, right? So this program is a program where we go into the schools and talk to the students about gender-based violence, prevention, dating violence, sexual violence, self-awareness, advocacy, and these are just a few of the topics that we deal with. Now, the program is a 4-month-long program where we have workshops once a month. The program will be launched in Signal Hill Secondary School tomorrow, God's willing, and we are going to have 2 workshops in back-to-back workshops at Signal Hill Secondary, because we were supposed to launch at Signal Hill in November 2022, but that did not happen because of the logistics. So we are launching at Signal Hill tomorrow, God's willing, and we are going to have another workshop on Wednesday. We will be launching at the Pentecostal Light and Life on Thursday, and followed by another workshop on Friday. We've had our workshop at Scarborough Secondary School last Friday, because we originally launched the program last November. We also launched November at Milat and completed another project workshop at Milat last Saturday. So the conversation is continuous, because we understand that the youths need the information. We want to encourage them to become agents of change. We want to equip them with the necessary tools, the information, so that they could make informed decisions. Because persons may ask, why are you going to the youths with this information?
Right.
They are the ones we need to go to. Yes, we will continue our awareness programs with adults and in the communities, but it's important that we educate the youths and empower them so that they could pass on the knowledge to their student community. So because it's our Pass It On Youth Leadership Program, we are starting with 30 students initially. And those 30 students have to pass on the information received to another 30 in their school environment.
All right. Now, Onika, as well, we've got these cards. I noticed you've been giving out these cards here.
Yes.
Tell us about these cards.
Okay, so I am also, apart from being CEO and founder of Women of Substance, I am Vice President of the Coalition Against Domestic Violence. And I think it was about 2 years ago, we did a collaboration with the Canadian Embassy, where we produced information cards so that we could hand out to persons, letting people know that, it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to let people know that you are not okay. Vulnerabilities, it's okay. It's okay to reach out for help, yeah? And we have, at the back of the card, numbers that persons can reach out to for help.
All right, and these are Your Life Matters. I just want to read what it says. It says, it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to have hope, and it's okay to start healing. And this is really beautiful. Your life matters. Your life matters. Yeah. All right. So tell us when again, and where.
So
and the time?
Tomorrow, God's willing, and these programs are specifically targeted to school children, and we welcome the support of our corporate Tobago, our citizens. We welcome your support, because we cannot do it on our own. So the workshops are going to be at the Signal Hill Secondary School Tuesday and Wednesday of this week, and at the Pentecostal Light and Life on Thursday and Friday of this week. In February, we continue with Scarborough Sec, Signal Hill Secondary, and Pentecostal Light and Life Tobago, and Milat Trinidad. I want to mention this touching experience I had on Wednesday at Milat. After the workshop was completed, a young man, a 17-year-old young man from the Betham, came to me and he said, "Miss, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for bringing this program to Milat, to us." He said, "Miss, you really don't know. I wish the government could give all your real support, real resources, so that all it could go into every school and every community." He said, "Because, Miss, you know, it had real violence." He said, "You realize it's people like me, our faces you're seeing, 16 and 17-year-olds committing the murders, committing the crimes." He said, "Miss, but you know, as boys, we don't even know how to express how we feel. If we cry, people calling we are a girl, a sissy. So, Miss, what we supposed to do if we hurt?" And for me, that was touching. And it brought tears to my eyes, because I said, imagine these guys, the program was 3 hours, right? After the 3 hours, we know young men, we know the attention span, how it is. But they were engaging and asking for more. "Miss, when you all coming back?" I said, "Well, February." He said, "Miss, so long? Before or after Carnival?"
Oh, boy.
I said, "Well, we'll definitely make it before Carnival." Yes, so it's a program that is much needed and appreciated by the students.
All right, and very quickly here, when are you going to have that cycle for the adults? So we know that this caters to the teenagers, but when are you going to have that cycle for the adults?
Okay, so what we've embarked on is a sensitization program. So we've recently, as recent as last week, sent out letters to the THA, to Be Mobile, to WASA, and different organizations, both private and public, in Tobago, asking for them to invite us to do a 45-minute sensitization program with their staff. So we are waiting. We've already gotten a response from Republic Bank and TNTech Training Facility and TSTT, I think. So we are looking forward to going into the workplaces, because we know if Moses can't come to the mountain, it's Moses, right?
I know, but Muhammad can't come.
If Muhammad can't come to the mountain, you take the mountain to Muhammad. So that is the approach we're taking.
Yes.
We're not waiting.
But we understand what you mean.
Right.
Yes.
We're not waiting for persons to reach out to us, because we know that abuse is prevalent in our beautiful little island of Tobago.
Yes.
And we want to empower people, we want to educate persons so that they know what are the signs to look for, they know what constitutes domestic violence, they know, and they also know that Shangri-La Women of Substance exists and the services we offer, so they can reach out to us for help.
All right. I want to thank you, ladies. Curtis Scott says, "Good morning, everyone. Happy to see my former classmate, Anne-Marie. Keep up the good job." Julia Brown says, "I truly hope we can have more conversations about abuse, especially abuse on men. Brothers, it's okay to come forward and speak out. It won't make you soft or weak. Please speak out if you are being abused." And we're going to end the interview right there. Thank you so much for being with us, viewers. We've got lots more coming up on the Tobago Updates Morning Show. We've got Sergeant Joseph Jordan coming up right after, representing the TTPS, and we're going to get an update here from the TTPS, as well as some information on how women and men can protect themselves during the carnival season. Share the live, share the live, share the live.
Scary. Yeah, boom. Jesus Christ, mother walk, look at people behavior. Yeah, we getting on bad, we up in your area. Yeah, when you see we coming, you know it's danger. Yeah, we better than you and all of your neighbor. Yeah, and we no afraid nothing. We no afraid, we no afraid, we no afraid. Mamailakai Home Services. We specialize in cleaning of carpets and rugs, mattresses, living room and dining room sets, vehicle detailing, cleaning and sanitizing of homes and commercial spaces. We also do landscaping and tree cutting, pressure and power washing, floor care, fumigating and air purifying. You can also call us for professional painting services, babysitting and adult sitting. Call us now 333-4430 at Mamailakai Home Services. We take cleaning to another level. The best place to stay in Tobago is at Thorn's Place, with rates starting as low as 200 TT. Call or WhatsApp 745-7306 or 682-8676. We are located uptown Scarborough, 5 minutes away from the port. Remember, at Thorn's Place, our aim is to make your stay safe and affordable.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show, coming to you here live from the Port Mall in Scarborough. In this segment, we are chatting with Joseph Jordan, Sergeant Joseph Jordan of the TTPS, and we're speaking to updates from the TTPS. And as well, we're continuing the discussion as we look at protecting yourselves during Carnival. Women, children, and us all getting a perspective here. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you. Good morning to Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning to your viewing and listening audience. Thanks for having me this morning.
All right. So as we get the conversation started this morning, I want to get from you generally in terms of where are we at with regards to the TTPS continuing to protect and serve here, particularly within the Tobago division.
All right. As it relates to Tobago and Trinidad and Tobago, we continue with our mandate. Our operational and strategic plans remain the same. Our focus, of course, is to prevent, detect crime as it relates to the Tobago division, where we are. I mean, the year has now started, so we haven't had any significant amount of crime. We have had a lot less than what we had last year in comparison period. Our detection rate stands at 14%, and that's rather low. However, as I said, the year has now begun. So far, we are on the right track. Unfortunately, over the weekend, on Saturday, we had an incident where there was some shooting in the Mount Grace area.
Right, that was my next question, yeah.
Yeah, where one person was shot. He would have received 2 shots, one is in the lower back region and the other one on his finger. However, he is stable and would have received necessary medical attention. That would be a shooting with intent, or depending on the category of the injuries. We also would have recovered approximately 16 spent shells from that incident, where apparently high-powered weapons were used in that incident. So at the end of the day, we still want to be grateful that the person did not die or have more serious injuries, and we continue to investigate that matter to see if we can bring some resolution to it as soon as possible, because it's too early in the year for such type of behavior, and the police is not omnipresent, but we are trying our best to do our patrols and ensure that we keep our citizens safe.
What would you say is one of the key strategies to ensure that we do not get to a greater level of discomfort? Because, you know, we would have had the days where one incident in Tobago was a lot, and it was plenty. What would you say, you know, is part of the focus of the TTPS now in terms of its strategy to really try to ensure that, you know, for lack of a different reference at this point, that we don't want to get like certain divisions in Trinidad. We would like the Tobago division to continue to lead the way.
Well, certainly. As I sit here, that is one of the strategies that we are using to implement and ensure that we have a safer Tobago. So we're trying to bring the message to the people, and we're also asking that the message be brought to us. So as a matter of communication, sharing information, partnering, that is one of the mechanisms that we are going to use and continue to use to solve crimes and to prevent crimes. Our, as I indicated, the basic policing presence, our presence need to be felt as much as we can, whether it be mobile, foot, bicycle, patrols. We're going to continue to use those measures to reach the people. And what we would want to also do is sometimes get more into the communities. And this is where we're going to use our community policing strategies to ensure that we reach the people. Because a lot of people, so especially sometimes in rural areas, they don't really come to the mainstream. And you have to go to them. And sometimes there are things that are happening in those small communities that are not being reported. And this is where you go in and you forge or foster that relationship to find out what is going on. Because I mean, we in our culture at Tobago here, we often talk about some of the instances like incest, excuse, and these kind of things. But if you don't go into the communities, you would not know what is going on. So we intend to break into these communities and gather information so that we can help prevent and even detect crime when they occur.
All right. One of the areas that we're speaking to this morning looks at, protecting yourselves during Carnival. And we're speaking to women. But I want you to give us that broader picture in terms of, what are some of the things that can be done, not just in terms of women, but, any of the vulnerable, particularly within the season.
All right. And yes, although the focus is on women, at the end of the day, we all have to protect ourselves, right? So we are into our festive carnival season, which is a rather heightened time in Trinidad and Tobago. More or less Trinidad, Tobago would have a fair share, but we all know that the greater hype would be in our sister isle, Trinidad. As relates to safety, we talk about if you are going to events, whether it be a male or a female, we advise that you go in groups. We identify persons like the designated driver. You secure your home in leaving, because a lot of us sometimes we running late, transport reach, we run out at the house, we may leave our door, our window open or ajar, and then when you come back home, you have not seen any physical break-in, but you realize things are missing in your house, ramsack, and the first thing is somebody broke into my house, when in fact you left your house open, because you ran late and you took it for granted that all is well. So safety, as relates to securing your home, you need to pay attention to that. The persons and the vehicles that you are traveling in, you need to also be very mindful, because what will often happen, we may go into a vehicle, we don't take cognizance of the registration number. Sometimes these registration numbers can even be fake. So I am advising that look at some of the, look at the make and type of the car, look at distinguishing features that may exist within that car or on that car. The car might have a little bounce, a little scratch. Pay attention to these things, because we may not always remember the registration number. And this comes into play when something actually happened, unfortunately. So we continue to encourage people to have a plan when going out. Sometimes as male and female also, you're going to your car after the event, have your keys in your hand, ready to open your vehicle, rather than when you reach, you're searching through your pocket, you can't find your key, and at that point in time, you become a target for someone, for unsuspected person. So you have to be proactive and lucid. Now, obviously, many of us coming from parties, we may be a little intoxicated, the spirits are within us. So at that point in time, you may want to have somebody to accompany you, a designated driver, somebody within the group that you're hanging out with, probably don't drink alcohol or drink a lot less. So you have to find a level of comfort and safety when socializing, when going to these carnival events.
And I've been told as well, and your thoughts, some have even advised getting into vehicles, etc., especially if you know there might be some level of discomfort or you're questioning yourself. The safer thing to do is to not choose that option, in terms of those who have to get taxis or transportations and you're on the roadway. Because, sometimes people tell you innate within them, I was really feeling a little uncomfortable, but I say, let me go ahead. And then I've heard too, and you can guide us on this, strategies in relation to have the conversation while in the car. So therefore you take out that phone and you contact somebody on my way home in a white Sentra vehicle, look out for me, that kind of way to alert. What are your thoughts on, simple, basic strategies like those, just to kind of put you into a sense of consciousness?
All right, excellent suggestions and excellent ideas. And now, that is something that can be done. Sometimes you could even, let's say, fake it. You ain't really talking to anybody. But so especially we say you are the only person, whether it be male or female, you are the only passenger in that vehicle. Or they may have a passenger and the driver along with yourself, and they may be up to some scampish intent. So you, at that point in time, you take out your phone, you make a phone call, whether it be real or not. But it is important to really communicate with someone at that point in time. Most of us use WhatsApp now. So during that time, you could text somebody indicating that on my way home, I should be home in about 10 minutes. If you don't hear, at least call my phone, call me back, find out what's going on. So you have to find safety mechanism. Reaching home. Upon reaching home, sometimes the vehicle just drop you and drive off. For me, especially if you're a female, as a male, you're supposed to be courteous.
Yes.
Ensure that the young lady gets into an apartment or home safely before driving off. So those are some of the things. When you get in, check your home. Go, if you're living by yourself, walk around your house, make sure that nobody's in there. Because yes, you might, the message might be, yeah, inside I reach home are safe. So everybody's comfortable at that point in time. But while you're there, somebody in your house, you attack you in that time to get to your phone, so nobody knows what's going on with you. So it is important to check around, have your phone at hand, have your emergency numbers, have a friend, 999 works quite well. You must have somebody who you could reach out to and somebody who you can trust. So those are some of the few measures that can be used in order to continue to protect yourself, both male and female.
And before we wrap this morning's interview, remind our viewers, in the event of an emergency, whether happening in person or not, tell us the contact information that they can reach out to, as well as do persons have with ease any and everywhere that I may see an officer during the carnival season, I can approach if I am in a situation?
Yes, certainly. So our contact number, we have the 999, we have 800 tips, we have the 555. Some of us may not be familiar with all the station numbers. However, some of Chauvin Road Police Station, there's a very simple one, it's 639-8888. It doesn't matter what station number you may remember at that point in time, because one of them will be available to assist. And if it's not in the same station district, you can reach out to another one. So we have Scarborough at 639-2515, that's the CID. At 639-2512, that's the General Scarborough Charge Room area. We have the Roxborough Station. We have Charlottesville, 660-4333. So there are numbers that are out there, but our basic easy number 999 still applies, and those are some of the numbers that you should always have on your phone. And please, I have seen a video already where somebody was videotaping something was going on, and the person was telling the person recording, call the police. And the person said, I don't credit on my phone, but 999 is a free number.
Ah, very good information to note.
Right?
999 is actually free.
Yeah, so no matter, and if you ever play with your phone, even if your phone is locked, you can call those emergency numbers. So those are things that you need to be aware of and not be sidetracked by videotaping and recording, when you can make a phone call and save the life or assist in preventing a crime and continued safety for all.
All right. Thank you very much, dear Sergeant Joseph Jordan of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. And I'm certain, folks, even if you think you heard the entire interview, I'm certain you remember the latter part. 999 is free. There is no charge. There's no charge. So you don't need to have credit on your phone to call in the event of an emergency. Your phone doesn't even need to be unlocked to call in the event of an emergency. So let's remember, it's important to be our brother's keeper. Let's look out for each other, particularly in this season. And you have Sergeant Joseph Jordan reminding us that the TTPS is here to serve and to protect, and therefore to ensure that connection is made with you. And I want to say commendations indeed, most definitely, as I've said to him, in terms of this definite effort that we are seeing, extra effort with the media outreach to connect with you, each and every one of you viewing here with us day by day, continuing to support the Tobago Updates morning show. So thank you very much there again for joining us on set this morning. Well, viewers, we're going to leave it there for this morning as we've come to the end of the Tobago Updates morning show. And we want to remind you, stay tuned and stay connected because we're heading straight on over to GMT. Bye-bye for now. See you tomorrow.
Our presence here is to solve problems that you all are now facing, and we hope that we do the best that we can to make your life and your standard of living improve.
The maintenance that we are paying for the past, $300 for maintenance, almost 90% of the homeowners there are with TTMF, and they indicated to us that the money is in an escrow account. Of course, we would have had the issue. I spoke with Mr. Bosland, seeing him for the first time in person, regarding that issue. I had a conversation with TTMF, and they reiterated that nothing cannot be done unless settlement give instructions.
I have been a homeowner since December 2015. Right? I've been paying them a mortgage since the 31st of December 2015. And they are telling me the only way that they can transfer the funds to my mortgage, they are waiting on directive from settlements.
The electrical work is a case where when some of us move in, the problem was that they use 110 wires for air conditioning. And when you try to use your washing machine, because they put it on a lower grade wire, it chips off the entire thing.
The service fee would cover things like insurance because of the common spaces, the lights, the whatever. The insurance coverage for you all you don't know, but it is $200,000 per year for all of the blocks. To paint with good paint, to do the landscaping, the drainage, the lights, the whatever, all of these things that are common to you all is what the $300 per person service fee is supposed to cover. In relation to the WASA money, the $200 is an estimation of what your bill is likely to be when it comes on stream. Property tax is also an estimation also. TTMF has that WASA money on escrow for us because the development, when it was approved, it was built out of all the other green spaces around you all. And because we have not progressed to the other spaces as yet, WASA has not been did not give us a final certificate. So, but we have worked out something with them now, so within a short space of time, there should be bills being generated in an account in everyone's name.
We will be addressing them, as the administrator said, and as Secretary Hackett said, in phases, piece by piece. Hope that we could bring some measure of relief for these long overdue problems you all have.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
Yeah. Hey. Tobago updates. Na, 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 na. Good morning, Tobago. Na, 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 na. Wake up with Candace and Denise here. Let's go, go. It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks a favor to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power. We are people in the sun. We are beaches, we are rivers. We are
Welcome to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates. Of course, your source for current affairs in Tobago, Trinidad, and the region. And I am Candice Jackson, and I am here on the cruise ship Star Vessel with Wanderlust Cruise Lines. And we are here in beautiful Charlottesville. I don't know if you've ever seen Charlottesville from, you know, this view. Just look around. I mean, we see the camera going around you, and we can see Manawa Bay, we can see Pirates Bay, we could across you see Hermitage and Lovers Bay. It's such a wonderful day to be here. And naturally, if I'm here on this cruise ship, it means you are going to get a look at it yourself. We're going to be taking you through a tour of the vessel, as well as introducing you to the captain and some of the people that's involved in getting this cruise ship here to Tobago. Of course, we are all very excited to see more cruise ships coming back to the island after almost 3 years of a COVID-19 pandemic, when the cruise industry got hit pretty hard. However, we are happy. We are happy that Star Legend is here, and they've chosen destination Tobago, especially Charlottesville, to make a port of call. I mean, it is wonderful. We had people just enjoying the beautiful beaches, as well as cultural performances on the shoreline. And of course, you know, in Tobago, there is quite a lot to do. So we're going to hear, you know, what are some of the things that tourists, visitors through this cruise line are expected when they come here to Tobago. What are the things that they want to do? So maybe you who are watching, you can be inspired to develop some of the tours, some of the experiences yourself, so that you could capitalize on things like this. I mean, we heard a few days ago that we are expecting more cruise ships to come in the next season, starting in about November, October of this year, later on in this year. So that's something that we need to prepare for. But in the meantime, like I said, it is just such a pleasure to be on the Star Legend, right in the middle of basically Manawa Bay, looking out at beautiful Charlottesville. So we're going to get into a lot of it when we come back after the break.
Never ever worry, don't mind how things looking hard. I tell them never ever worry, if you're nice can't get damaged bad. I tell them never ever worry, what I'm saying is true. So just consider, Tatil will always be here for you.
Tatil, where people are people. You know what I mean.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up below. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show.
Excel Spa by Haley, where our highly trained staff are ready to deliver the top-class services in facial massages, waxing, nail enhancement, and body treatment. We are ideally located at Coco Avenue, Switzerland, Tobago. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, TripAdvisor, or you can call us on 730-0149. Excel Spa by Haley. Relax, renew, and rejuvenate.
Rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong.
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago updates, and of course, viewers, we continue to be with you on what I would say is the legendary Star Legends cruise ships. It's a wonderful place to be, and I am just basking in the ambience here. It's a very beautiful location, and we are very privileged to have a sit-down conversation with the Captain Nick Sutherland. Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am. How are you?
I'm good, and a special Tobago welcome to you.
Very, very well appreciated. Thank you.
All right, so tell me a little bit about yourself. You are a captain of this grand vessel.
Yeah.
How long have you been a captain?
Well, I've been in the cruise industry for about 25 years now. I know I don't look it, but funny enough, my birthday yesterday. But
well, happy belated birthday.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, but no, 25 years of doing this, and I love the cruise industry and what it's all about, because it's about taking people essentially on a vacation, right? And you know, it's certainly a privilege with Windstar how we do it, and you know, one of our famous sayings is, you know, of course, is 180 degrees from ordinary.
Yes.
And that's what we like to create, those vacation experiences each and every time. And it's great to be here in Tobago. What a place, you know, what a place.
And you know, your tagline goes along with our tagline from TTAL, which is Tobago Beyond or Not Ordinary.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's just a wonderful, you know, connection.
Yeah, and we've got kind of this season on the Star Legend, we've got a Southern Caribbean itinerary, which means, you know, we're kind of very much hanging out in this area. So, you know, Tobago fits in perfectly for what we want. And I know our guests, you know, quite often have travelled the more, you know, populated areas in the North Caribbean, but this is something that's very much core of where we're at. Of being different and looking at the authentic Caribbean, which Tobago and certainly Man of War is very much authentic, right?
Oh yes, and I love the view from this side. I know viewers, I mean, we used to the view of Charlottesville and that whole area from land, but
Yeah.
seeing it from the ocean is like way better. But tell me about the vessel itself. Like, how big is it? How many passengers does it carry?
Yeah, I mean, we're 160 metres long, so we're not certainly by any stretch of the imagination a big cruise ship, which we're not. We are a yacht-based operation. There's three of this, what we call the Star class, which all have been stretched actually during the pandemic time. Around about 25 metres in the middle was added. So we added basically the capacity of 100 guests, so we're now up to just over 300, which we can get on board. So it's very much a small cruise ship feel, but very much a family going on
Yes.
holiday together, right? So I've been with Windstar just under a year, but you already meet a lot of people and you become friendly with them. You hang out together, you have dinner together, and Windstar is all about that. So, you know, destination is also crucial to the you know, the enrichment of the product, but it's also the family atmosphere that our
Certainly.
crew and we take very seriously. Yeah.
And taken from that point, you know, how does, you know, just give me a little bit of an idea of how does Tobago, especially Man of War Bay, especially Charlottesville, how does that line up with the type of guests, that type of passengers that you all have on board?
Yeah, I think our guests are quite expedition, adventurous types. They're not really, you know, a theme park, water park, walking in a mall that's in
Yes.
the Caribbean. They want the more authentic, just, you know, kind of bucket list, or different variations of places that they've been to before. So a lot of people, I mean, you know, I'm probably one of the few people that have been to Tobago before,
Yes.
right? So I've been to Scarborough, which the Scarborough in the UK is only about 50 miles north of me. But yeah, I've been to the Scarborough here, and you know, the beaches are amazing, you know, and you get a full appreciation of Tobago and what it's all about. But I mean, certainly for here is that authentic feel. It's very original, it's unspoilt. Not that there's anything wrong with spoiled,
Yes.
because that has a certain place within the communities along this Caribbean stretch, but you know, for here in particular, what works with Windstar and our guests is that very original, unique, 180 degrees from the ordinary, right?
Certainly, and I mean, there is that niche in the tourism industry for that kind of traveler.
Yeah, yeah.
And
yeah.
especially now with the after we're getting over the COVID-19 pandemic, you know, how does that fit in?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we're absolutely of the view that you know, doing the right thing and everyone vaccinated and, you know, continual monitoring. But we're moving on.
Yes.
And this is where this fits in very well with us. I mean, for instance, there are other ports that are around where you're doing, you know, you could be with 8,000-10,000 people. We, as a product, would prefer to be, you know, unique in also our visitor perspective, so that we're actually, you know, the only ones in port, and, you know, like today we're the only ones here, which is great. We've got the whole anchorage to ourselves.
Yes.
We can have the marina out, we can have the Zodiacs, the floating, you know, trampoline, which is all great fun, right? And it's, again, very unique to what we do. And obviously we've got a tender service running ashore where you see the tender pier there, and getting people off on tour, or whether they want to explore, hang out, go to the beach. So that it just works out great for us.
Now, is this your first time coming to Man O' War Bay? I know you've been to Scarborough before, but is this?
I believe that the ship has been to Man O' War before, but certainly, I mean, post-pandemic, post-stretch of the vessel, you know, this is the first time for the yacht here. So, you know, we're just very excited. We've been looking forward to it.
Yes.
And I've been doing some research on Google and other things. So
hopefully you're finding good things.
Yeah, you're spoken very highly of. So I'm certainly very impressed with the whole operation. That's good.
Now, what was it like? What was the experience like this morning? Because you came in just about 5 o'clock this morning. You know, pulling into the harbour. What was the feeling?
It was quite good because we had, you know, kind of the sunrise coming up at about 6:30. We were 6 o'clock just at the entrance there, so there's still a little bit of wind, a little bit of swell. We're kind of like, well, we're hoping it's, you know, a little bit calmer inside. And we got in and we're here now, and great for us. So it's a sheltered anchorage, which is important.
Now, what are the other destinations that this cruise call on? What are the other places?
Well, I mean, in the Caribbean, we turn around, or are turning around in Barbados. We have other ports of call from St Lucia to St Vincent Grenadines, with a place called Mayreau, which is kind of a kind of beach, and then we have obviously Man O' War and Tobago, and then when we've kind of been to those areas, then we're moving more inland. Towards basically going back towards the Panama Canal area, because that's another very important part of our kind of itinerary this season. We're going back to ABC Islands, so Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao, and then feeding our way back essentially to a southbound, northbound Panama Canal transit. So that's keeping us all busy, right?
Oh, certainly. I mean, we're thankful for it, especially after the last 2 or 3 years that we had. But how does Tobago then compare to some of those other destinations that you call upon?
I mean, there are lots of authentic places that we go to in the kind of Panama country area, you know, that I would always describe as very authentic and unspoilt, and that's where Tobago fits in very well. You know, as I said, you know, if you have a look ashore and you see certain brands that are there already along the high street kind of glaring at you, then kind of this area has you know, been covered by that. So for us, it's very much about that authentic feel ashore for the guests, and also you know, they will feel safe here, you know, welcomed by all of the people living ashore, of course. And I heard music playing and people greeting everything, which, you know, is a real positive for us, because that's something perhaps that we didn't tell the guests, and we probably didn't know was going to happen.
So it was basically a wonderful surprise.
Yeah, so that's good for us. I'm not a fan of surprises, but nice surprises are good, right? Yeah.
Certainly. Now, I mean, you've been a captain, you should say, for about 25 years. What was your experience like being a captain, you know, sailing, especially cruise ships, captaining these vessels? You know, I mean, you're the man that is responsible for all the passengers on board and ensuring safety and so on. What's that like?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've been captain for about 12 years now. It's a mega responsibility, but you get used to it. You know, I mean, as long as you follow the set of rules, you follow all the laws that are out there, and you make sure that safety is your number one concern, no matter what.
Yes.
Then you just go along life's path, right? And I've absolutely thoroughly enjoyed being at sea, travelling, meeting new people, but also helping people, because the captain is a great opportunity to help people, and that's a good thing, right? So you're utilising it to its full potential. But yeah, I mean, it's there's no doubt whether you're on, you know, a 300 guest yacht, or I don't know, 6,000 guests or whatever, and 2,000, 3,000 crew. It's a mega responsibility. You know, one life being in looking after it is a mega responsibility.
Certainly.
But all those numbers is a big thing. But no, I adore being a captain, and I don't think I could do anything else.
And you've been in this industry where you encounter people from all over the world. I mean, how much that experience resonates with you?
I've always got something to talk about, because you meet so many different people, and I've you know I can tell a good story.
Oh yes.
And you know, you generally find, if you're well travelled and or you meet a passenger, guest, visitor, or somebody that's well travelled, you always have a conversation. You can always talk about something, and that's something that I really enjoy, and that's what Windstar for me does great as a product, because with this family feel, when you're sailing with us, you know, we have an open bridge a lot of the time, where some of our guests will choose to come through and speak to the navigation officers or to the captain, and you know, we all share our experiences, and you learn every day, right? You know,
yes, definitely.
we must keep on learning, keep on that open book. That's how you become better.
Now, why should somebody, you know, choose a cruise that is a little bit more intimate, I should say, as opposed to, you know, the bigger cruises where you have all the amenities and all the activities? You know, I sometimes this is a better choice.
I call it the relax factor. The relax factor is the key. I think when you've got a smaller yacht like this, the atmosphere is more relaxed. You're not rushing everywhere. You've not got to queue for everything. You've not got to queue to come back on the yacht with the tender service. You know, and it's a much more relaxing atmosphere. And you know, hey, it may not be for everybody, but for our people, and we've got such a return rate coming back to Windstar, we're doing it right, you know, and we get a lot of first-time cruisers with us that maybe have done the bigger ships and have gone, well, do you know what, I'm going to try the smaller ships. And there are some people that try the smaller ships and go, oh, it's too small. I get it. I get all kind of spectrum of decision-making process, but for us, you know, we feel that we're doing it right, and it suits,
suits your guests. Now, was it scary coming back from the COVID-19 pandemic, getting back out there?
No, because I think that, you know, I mean, thank goodness and thank you to all those people. There's very clever scientists that came up with a vaccine and sorted us and helped us, all the population around the world. They did an amazing job. And when we got all of those, you know, initial stages of the vaccination program, you know, the crew fully vaccinated, and our guests are fully vaccinated. So we were pushing to do the right thing, but also let's get back to some sense of normality. Right. I know there's a lot of a talk about a new norm. I understand that to a point, but there was nothing wrong with the old normality, right?
Certainly not.
So we had to kind of, and one very important thing for us was getting that service level back. You know, and we've absolutely nailed it. And you know, certainly when we're speaking to a lot of guests, they really appreciate the normal level of service resumed, because effectively, as is life, you move on, right?
Certainly.
And we become stronger, we've learned, and we move on.
And we adjust. Now, you've been to Tobago a few times.
Yeah.
Have you been able to experience anything on land, and what are some of your what are the things that stick out in your memory?
Well, I mean, for Tobago, I mean, I did get a chance actually when I was in Scarborough. I think it was 3 or 4 years ago, to go ashore to a beach, and you know, I had an authentic lamb curry, I think,
yes,
which was very nice. So I had that on the beach, and it was really good. And we also had you know, swimming and snorkeling and in Scarborough itself. I probably won't get a chance to go today.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
We're here the whole season, right? So I'll get a good chance. I will go on a tour here. I try and immerse myself in what we're doing as well, so you can understand it from a guest perspective.
Yes.
But no, I mean, it's, as I say, I'm sure the feedback from all the guests will be that they love this area, so that's really good.
And I mean, you've sailed quite a bit, but has there been any like other scary instances? Like, how did you handle, you know, times when there are storms and that sort of thing in the area?
Yeah, I think the art of storm dodging is being aware that there is a storm. So identifying, preparing, okay, and live into that set of parameters. I mean, of course, a forecast is a forecast. It's not guaranteed. But if you, for instance, are seeing storms coming your way where during an Atlantic crossing the seas are going to be 8 metre forecast and your parameter says 6 metre maximum, then you don't exceed that parameter. So it's all about planning, preparation, identifying what you need to do and working another plan. And of course, you know, there are times when ports cannot be made. It could be too windy, it could be not favourable conditions, but you look for alternatives. But I mean, when you've been doing it for so long, you just crack on and get it done.
And you just learn how to work with it.
Yeah, that's all you can do, right?
all you can do.
Yeah.
All you can do. Now, of course, we are so happy to have you here. I mean, this such a wonderful person to talk to. It's so easy to speak to. Now, I mean, give me an idea of, you know, just some of your memories that have stuck out as a captain, you know, that just made a difference.
Yeah, one particular cruise we did for French Polynesia on one of the sister ships to this, on the Star Breeze. We did the President's Cruise. And one of my particular favourite areas, I love the Caribbean and I love French Polynesia. And we did a President's Cruise. The weather was absolutely perfect. We had the President on board of our company, and we were fortunate enough to have the President of French Polynesia on board. It was his first cruise. And we did 7 days, and it was amazing weather, and weather helps a lot, right?
Yes.
So good weather, good to go between the various locations. And then in Papeete, when we finished kind of the moving part of the cruise, we were invited back to the presidential palace in Papeete in French Polynesia. And I think, you know, when you feel something's gone good, and then you've got all the guests coming to you and saying what a wonderful time they've had, thank you Windstar, you know, I mean, it's not down to me, I just very lucky to manage a very good team.
Yes.
So you've got very, very, very good crew who, you know, I hasten to add, you know, away from their families a lot longer than I am. But they come to work every day, smile on the face, they do an amazing job. And then all those guests during that cruise coming to me and saying they've had such a wonderful time, and that to me is what it's all about. So yeah.
Yes. Well, I want to thank you, Captain Nick Sutherland, for just speaking with us. It was so lovely speaking with you and just getting a little insight into your life as a captain and just, you know, your views on just being here in Tobago.
Yeah, my pleasure to be here. So thank you very much.
Yes.
can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Welcome to Lamarge Parfait Day Spa and Wellness Center, your premier spa experience located at Bonaccord, Tobago. Visit us today for facials, cellulite treatments, body contours, body treatments, pedicures, manicures, and much more. We have gift cards for all occasions and corporate events. Connect with us on Facebook at Lamarge Parfait Day Spa or call us 273-7772.
Jesus Christ, mother walk, look at people behavior. Yeah, we getting on bad, we up in your area. Yeah, when you see we coming, you know it's danger. Yeah, we better than you and all of your neighbor. Yeah, and we no afraid nothing. We no afraid, we no afraid, we no afraid nothing. We no afraid, we no afraid, we no afraid nothing. How we no afraid, we no afraid.
Never ever worry, don't mind how things looking hard. I tell them never ever worry, if you're nice can't get damaged bad. I tell them never ever worry, what I'm saying is true. So just consider, Tatil will always be here for you.
Tatil, where people are people. You know what I mean.
Rest Assured helped me to cope with the unexpected, provides financial help for final expenses. Rest Assured, the affordable financial comfort plan. Tatil Life, guaranteed protection.
Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes for breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti served with chokers, bull joil and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
It's a different type of thing down there. And we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
Rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor. So wake up and hear my neighbor. 60,000 people strong and the vibes is never wrong.
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Update. Viewers, we are on board what I would say is the legendary Star Legend vessel, which is docked in Charlottesville. As you can see, the most beautiful beach in all of Tobago, which is Pirates Bay. We're looking at it. Look at it. So gorgeous. I bet you've never seen Pirates Bay from this angle before. But of course, we're Tobago Updates, and only we can give you these wonderful views and these wonderful shots. Now, I am about to take you into the bridge where we are going to meet one of the navigators to get an idea of how this ship operates. Like right here, we have these facilities that helps the captain dock the vessel. So when the captain is coming in, there is some mechanisms in here. Of course, we can't interfere with it, but you know, when they're ready to dock, they navigate the ship from here. However, we're going to take you into the bridge, and then you're going to see all the equipment in store. So come on in. I'll try this, of course, my step now. All right, so we're going to introduce you to Navigator Jack. Good morning, and welcome to you, sir.
Hi.
All right, so tell me about the role of a navigator.
So I'm a junior officer, I'm a second officer, and
and we drive the ship. So the captain, he won't be on the bridge driving the ship all the time. He or she will normally only come on the bridge for driving when we're coming in or out of a port. But the rest of the time when we're at sea, it'll be people like me, the junior officers, driving the ship, yeah.
Great. Now, what has been your experience like? You know, do you like being a second officer?
Yeah, the best part of it is going to all the amazing places all over the world, definitely, because I like to travel. So I'm from UK, but I've been so many places because of this job. That's the most important thing to me.
And it's the first time are you in Tobago?
Yeah, this is my first time in Tobago, yeah. It looks like a beautiful place.
Well, we're certainly happy that you can be here. So, give me an idea of what it takes to run the ship, what it takes to make sure that this vessel stays safe and all the passengers are secured.
So we work in a team up here, so it will be me, a fourth officer and a quartermaster, all the three of us on the bridge together, working as a team, and we're all constantly cross-checking each other because just to make sure nobody makes mistakes or anything. Also, whilst we're on the bridge, we have a team down in the engine room monitoring the engines and looking after the machinery. So it's a team effort, it's not just one person doing all the work.
Certainly, and I don't know if you can be able to, if you're able to show me some of the equipment that, or just the areas.
Yeah, but don't do it. So this is the steering wheel right here. This will be in use by the quartermaster when we're coming in out of port or out of the anchorage today. But whilst we're at sea, we use the autopilot. So this dial right here is the autopilot, and it just steers in a straight line. So it steers to a heading, 000 being north, 090 being east, and you just choose your heading and it will just go in a straight line. So it's very good when we're out at sea, going in a straight line, but not so good when you want to turn fast and be careful with it.
Oh, well, of course, it is a big vessel, so you're not there for the speed and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, now, I mean, what did it take for you to get into this? Like, what kind of a training, what kind of a schooling did it take?
So, in the UK, we've got a pretty good system. You do a cadetship, so you have to apply to different companies, and the companies will sponsor you through your training. So, they'll pay for your accommodation, your exams, your schooling, and they'll give you a small salary of like £650 per month whilst you're doing the training. So it'll be a 3.5-year course, and during that 3.5 years you'll be going to college, and you'll also spend time on board ship as well, so you learn on the job. Yeah, it's good because they sponsor you to do it.
That's wonderful. And what got you into it? Like, what inspired you to work on a vessel?
Well, my dad is a captain on an offshore supply ship, so it like tows oil rigs and stuff, and I did an IT course, like a college course kind of thing, but then as I got older I realised I didn't want to be in an office all my life. I wanted to do something more adventurous.
Yes.
And I felt this was more adventurous.
What are some of your favourite experiences, you know, serving on board a vessel?
Probably my first ship, because it was a container ship, but it was my first time working with a multinational crew of people from all over the world. So that was a really good experience for me to learn about people from other countries and other cultures and how we can all work together as well.
And how was it working in the Caribbean and just going to these different islands?
Yeah, it's really good. The beaches are so beautiful in the Caribbean as well, and the weather is nice, which is very, very important to us on the bridge. The weather is the important thing. Yeah.
All right. Well, I want to thank you so much, Second Officer Jack, for giving us a look at the bridge, viewers. I mean, this is your exclusive look, but of course, we have a lot more to show you. Legend cruise vessel, yes. And of course, when we talk about cruises, we are continuing to show you some parts of the vessel itself. But one of the fun things that you see when you experience, I should say, when you're on a cruise or even just on vacation is that of the spa. So we're going to take you through, and this vessel, the Star Legend, has wonderful facilities, some of the things that you've never heard about. So to tell us a little about it, I'm going to introduce you to Marcos, the spa manager. Good morning and welcome.
Thank you. Welcome to our beautiful World Spa. How are you doing? How do you like our Star Legend ship?
I especially like this area. I'm just smelling the aromas and everything, and I'm relaxed, I'm at peace, and I want to stay here. I don't want to leave.
Definitely you will stay here, but let me show you a little bit more about our wonderful spa, and then you're going to decide if you want to stay here longer than these 7 days.
Certainly, but before we get into that, I want to get an idea of who you are and how did you get involved with this?
So, as I said, my name is Marco, and I'm coming from Serbia.
Nice.
Last 6 years I worked on many different cruise ships, starting with Norwegian Cruise Line, Royal Cruise Line, as well as Celebrity. And last 3 months I'm here on the Windstar Legend, being a spa manager here.
Great.
This is my first ship, first this size vessel of 300 guest size. Usually I was working on such a huge ships like 4,000-5,000 passengers. So this is quite a nice difference compared to that. It's a smaller vessel, it's more intimate, and I can say that I pretty much enjoy here. Yeah.
Great. So take me through some of the things that you guys have to offer to your passengers.
Oh, we say it's a small size vessel, but definitely we have a big variety of the services that we offer. Let's start with something what comes first on your mind when you say spa. It's definitely a massage.
Yes, we love those massages.
Massage that we are doing are great. We are offering more than 12 different types of massages.
Wow.
Now, depending on what is your concern? We have massages that are pure relaxation. We have massages which are more therapeutic. We have massages that are goes more deeper to the muscle. So again, depending on what is the main concern. As a signature massage of our World Spa, I can definitely say that is aroma stone therapy, where we use heated Himalayan stones, which goes on the muscles, and you can imagine with this heat how the muscle is getting so relaxed, and we have so many.
Sounds so magical.
Oh yeah, we have so many guests sleeping during the treatment because it's so relaxing.
And of course, that's what you want.
Definitely, yes.
So
yes.
Can you give us a look at a tour at some of the facilities you have here?
Of course, please. Can you follow me? Let's start with our fitness center first. Our fitness center is a part of a new area, which means that this ship, in one moment, last year was stretched, and a whole new part was intact inside. So now we are entering, yes, you pull.
Oh, whoops.
Now we are entering in our new fitness center. As you can see here, we have such a variety of the equipment. Most of them is techno gym equipment, which is new equipment starting after pandemic. We basically put all new equipment in the gym. The equipment that we have starts with upper body, lower body, weights, as well as cardio side of the fitness center.
Oh yes.
Hello. So here we have 3 different treadmills, ellipticals. Basically, you have everything what you need in order to do a good exercise and to stay active during your cruise. And that's the whole point here.
Certainly. So, well, I'm trying not to trip on myself.
Careful, please.
Of course, as we move on. So, do you have a trainer that gets to work with people if they want a trainer?
Yeah, definitely, yes. Across the, let me.
I'll let you do it.
Push. So across here, we do have one more room which belongs to the fitness center, and this is our our classroom, I can say, where we are conducting all the classes.
Nice.
So we do have a fitness instructor which conduct the classes on a daily basis. We do yoga, Pilates, stretch classes, boot camps, as well as the educational seminars, which is about nutrition and healthy lifestyle. So we are not just trying to give opportunity for our guests to exercise, but we are trying as well to introduce them to a healthier and better lifestyle.
It's all about that wellness and that mental health and so on.
Definitely, yes. Yoga is one of the most favorite classes that we do here, and I can say that this room is pretty filled with the guests every morning. So that's one of our best classes that we are offering, definitely.
Okay.
Please follow me.
So, yes.
I'm gonna open it.
Oh, thank you. So do you enjoy working here?
Oh, definitely. This is one of my favorite places to be.
Nice.
Even when I'm home after a while, after a while I'm like, okay, it's time to get back on the ship. But welcome to our beautiful salon.
Ah, yes.
This is the place where we make everybody beautiful.
I know the females would probably love it here.
Exactly. Over here you can see our hair stations. This is where we do all the haircuts, keratin products, coloring, as well as wash and blow dries, style of the hair.
Nice.
New Year behind us. We had 22 appointments for the New Year's Day.
Wow.
Which we did right here. So one hairdresser was on the both sides helping two ladies at the same time to have a beautiful hair for the new year. So I can say it was quite busy.
But quite exciting.
Exactly. It's a new year. It's always exciting. Further away we have manicure and pedicure stations where we do 3 or 4 different types of actual manicure and pedicure.
Nice.
There is a traditional, which is basic one, but our signature treatment is definitely fire and ice manicure and pedicure, where you are getting a nice stone massage of your arms, reflexology of your feet, then heating and cooling gel, which makes a whole manicure and pedicure enjoyable.
Great.
Yes.
So we want to get into some of the rooms where you get all those massages and therapy done.
Oh yeah, as a signature treatment here, massage is one of the most popular things that we are offering in the spa. And welcome to one of our massage rooms. It smells nice.
Yes.
We are making sure that this smells like spa. On your right side you can see definitely our cabbie where we keep all our hot stones, as I mentioned earlier.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
Oh, it makes me just want to lay down here and then just have to work on my back done.
When I tell my guests that 50 minutes is not enough, they're like, no. And after 50 minutes, they're okay, let's do 70, but let's do 100 minutes. So we do offer 3 different lengths of the treatments, which is 50, 75, and 100 minutes massages.
Well, I think I'll be up for that 100-minute massage. Certainly.
Definitely. Yeah, you can come with me to one very special area here. We have one room for our pain specialist on board, which is definitely our Dr. Haruka, acupuncturist.
Hi, my name is Haruka. I'm licensed acupuncturist on board. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. So tell me about your job here, acupuncture. What else do you do inside of here?
Acupuncture works any kind of pain will work, and also acupuncture works seasickness, digestion problem, headaches, any kind of condition will works.
Great. Yeah. So for viewers, for those of you who are thinking of coming on a cruise and you are worried about seasickness, well, this is the man you go to. It's perfect.
Are you afraid of needles?
Actually, I don't like needles. No.
That's why doctor is breaking this. Doctor, you have a pair of needle there?
Yeah.
Let's see. One pair of needle. Okay, we're gonna do a testing for you.
Well, thankfully these are not IV needles.
Right?
But yes, these would be easier to work.
It's like a size like a human hair. and also all single use and steroids.
Of course.
Don't worry about that.
You can you can place on me here. Let's see how it works. Alright. It's not gonna hurt?
No hurt.
No hurt, he says.
That's it.
So could you explain what this is doing?
Like depends on the condition. I check first time I check stomach, pulse, tongue. Then I can suggest what is the cause and how does acupuncture work. Then it's almost this if you're like using this point, like if you have headaches, like almost like a face like a condition.
Yes.
It really works for this.
I didn't feel anything, doctor, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, is it inside or what's happening? Oh, this is great.
Wow, you're really a good singer.
I already not have any headache. Oh, thank you so much. This is great. Please.
Well, viewers, see, you can come here and experience for yourself. I mean, yeah.
And no bleeding, no bleeding.
No bleeding, yes.
Bleeding or
because he is not
bruising?
bleeding.
Nothing?
And
Oh wow, this is great.
so you have nothing to worry about.
Arigato. Arigato.
My doctor from Japan.
Oh, nice to meet you, and I hope you get to enjoy Tobago a little bit before you go.
Yeah.
Great.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
doctor. Please.
All right, we're moving on. So much excitement, and this, I mean, it's something to do every day in this spa, and we're not halfway done yet.
No halfway there. Let me show you the most favorable place of all our guests before and after the treatments is definitely our thermal suite area, which is the most relaxed area on the ship. And we like to call it the quietest area because here people are basically to relax their mind, to enjoy in a little music, but as well the quiet. These are one of our heated beds.
Oh, wow.
So this is basically
you should feel this.
the shape of the bed is made in order to relax and to rest your back. So when you're there, you can basically rest, but as well warm up your muscles for upcoming massage or acupuncture. Please.
So it basically helps you to relax your muscles.
Yes. Definitely. Wow.
Our viewers, well, I think we could end the show right here. How about that?
2 hours
so
later.
I know, right? I could stay here and just enjoy it, and then you have the wonderful spa smells in here. So you have that little aromatherapy thing going on, and
that's a signature of our spa. It's the smell, because we want to make sure that every guest passing outside through the spa feel this sense and make the guest to come actually to the spa. And quite often it happens that people are asking, "Oh, Marco, which smell is this? I want this at my home."
Yes.
So it's really enjoyable. Please, for a little bit further here, we have
the sauna.
Sauna, definitely, and a steam room. Now, depending of again what is your concern, if you have any problems with breathing, we can suggest to go for a steam room, because steam is opening all your pores from inside through the nasal system.
And it's a good detoxifier.
Definitely. As well as sauna, but it's quite, there is a slight differences, because sauna goes on 90 degrees and steam room goes only on 46. So depending on how much heat you like. Yes,
okay.
Fahrenheit. Not Fahrenheit, Celsius.
Oh, Celsius, okay.
Celsius, which is higher. So Fahrenheit, it wouldn't be so warm, but Celsius goes 90 degrees. This is usable for all our guests from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. every day. So imagine your experience coming for massage and doing a facial, and then okay, let's go for a steam, heated chair. You have a whole day filled up with the spa.
Wow.
And that's our goal. Last but not the least, definitely we have a rainbow shower, which is a shower with 6 different ways of putting the water, I can say kind of massaging yourself.
Yes.
So it goes from the side, on top, from down, and it's really something enjoyable after a steam room or after a sauna.
All right. Well, Marco, I want to thank you so much for giving us a little look at the spa facilities, and we haven't shown you everything, but of course we have to leave some surprises. But in the meantime, I think I am going to take some self-care for myself and enjoy this place, but so don't go anywhere. Well, viewers, it was such a pleasure being on board the Star Legend. I had a wonderful time just showing you this vessel and of course taking in the view of beautiful Charlottesville from right here. So that is how we're going to wrap the show this morning. Thank you for viewing with us for this very special episode, and I want to thank the cruise line for just being able to accommodate us and being so warm and welcoming. Thank you. And well, this is how we're going to wrap the show this morning. So have a safe and wonderful day, and we'll see you again tomorrow. 60,000 people strong.